Hey guys, and welcome to today's subscriber showcase where I want to share some of your amazing transformations. I know these kinds of videos not only inspire me, they also inspire you guys too. Now I did actually post this on my Instagram and YouTube community tab to show you guys that I am looking for setups because I'm always asked where do you ask, and I decided to do it on YouTube as well. Weirdly, I only got about 1/10 of the entries I usually get for videos like this, and when I asked on Instagram, an overwhelming amount of people did not see the post. So if you don't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Leopard Gecko YouTube, and please just like some of the photos because I don't understand the Instagram algorithm. Something has definitely changed, but a lot of people didn't even see that post, so a lot of people missed out. But the good thing is we have some fantastic setups today, so let's jump straight into it. So first we have a 10-gallon upgrade from Jade and her 7-month-old gecko Rex. So Rex started off in this tank, and since then Jade has upgraded to a 3-foot-long Exo Terror. So firstly, wow, I feel the comparison from like a 10-gallon tank to this upgrade is like the tank can breathe. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's just space to breathe and expand and add new elements to the tank, so it's really great to see. And another thing she's done is add a digging hide, which is great if you're not feeling 100% confident in putting loose substrate all over the tank. This is still a way that your gecko can get enrichment by being able to dig. Now Jade also included some bonus splooting photos which are awesome. I definitely like the one with the back legs completely flopped back. Next we have a setup from Ilona. I hope I pronounced your name right. She is from Austria and she has an absolutely adorable 5-month-old gecko named Bayek. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Now this isn't technically a before and after kind of transformation because Bayek was adopted 7 weeks prior, so I imagine this setup is a welcomed upgrade. So Ilona uses a Jungle Dawn, a Deep Heat Projector and an Exo Terror Monsoon. I don't know if this is her first attempt at a tank build, if this is her first reptile, but this is an amazing tank if it's your first go. Even if it's not your first go, it's still great. Lots of room, lots of places to climb and hide. It is great to see. This next one is titled Bioactive Leopard Gecko Journey and it's from Tom and his gecko Mr. Jinx. He started off with a good enough tank, like if this didn't say before on it, I'd think it was the after. But then the transformation, wow, this is bright, it's alive. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how to keep plants alive in my leopard gecko tanks. Like, you'll have to let me know what you do. Are these planted straight in the ground? Are they in pots? How often do you water? Because at the moment I have a succulent and an aloe vera in Diego's tank. They're doing well, but they are in pots. But this looks awesome. And also here is a bonus picture of Mr. Jinx exploring. Now this next one we don't have a before photo for, but this is Alyssas Transformation and wow, it is great to see people embracing the fact that given the opportunity, a leopard gecko will climb. And though they won't be up there, you know, on the branches during the day like maybe a crested gecko, I'm sure they'll climb up at night. I see Gizmo do this sometimes as well. So it's really nice to see you utilising all of this space and a very interesting setup for a leopard gecko. Next we have 2 setups from Emma, so there's a Crested Gecko one and a Leopard Gecko one. The first one though we'll look at is a Crested Gecko one. Now this gecko came with a pretty decent setup from an ex-breeder, which is great to see, but Emma decided she wanted to change things up, add some more plants, and wow, it is a lot more vibrant, a lot more colourful, and I also love these kind of tanks where the background extends all the way to the front, sort of along the sides, and you get these cool climbing plants which I wish I could keep alive. Same with moss. I don't know how people grow this stuff. This stuff does not grow in my tank, so I don't know if I'm not watering enough. How do you guys do this? You have to let me know. But this looks great. And now her second tank, her Leopard Gecko tank, in April she decided to upgrade and go bioactive, using a 60 by 60 by 120 centimetre tank. Great size. However, she does acknowledge that she probably didn't provide enough coverage as her gecko did hide a lot, even hiding behind the background. So she does have plans for a future tank. And personally, I think the upgrade looks great. But yeah, if you're going to do an upgrade and there's a lot of space and you notice your gecko's hiding a lot, it might feel overexposed. So you might want to add more coverage. I have done a video on this, which I'll link here if you want to check it out, and how to make or allow your gecko to use all that new space. But I think you're really on the right path here. Now maybe the warm area you can make a bit bigger. So kind of like what I've done in Gizmo's tank, on her hot side we have driftwood, cork and slate. Now not only does this make a really big hide, but within that hide, amongst the crevices, are small areas that Gizmo can crawl into, so almost like loads and loads of little hides in one hide. And since it's under the deep heat projector, all the slate is nice and warm, so you can just like sandwich yourself in there, and she absolutely loves it. So maybe that's something you can try out, but yeah, coverage is key. Next, we have an amazing setup from Mira, and this is for her Crested Gecko Lily. Now, I absolutely love the bromeliads, the moss, the small climbing plants. I feel like I always tend to build from the sides of the tank inwards, but I really love the look of it emerging from the centre. And the use of what I think are fake rocks, and then the branches. This looks awesome. This next setup comes from Harvey. It's really cool because it has all of these little hiding places, and I am actually very tempted to buy more substrate myself to have sort of semi-buried hides because I think it looks really cool. But one thing I thought was interesting about this tank is Harvey uses a dehumidifier as he lives in a very humid area. Now I don't tend to have this problem, so I don't know much about what's a good dehumidifier for your tank, but I know some of my viewers also have problems with humidity, so maybe this is something you can do. But also, say you use a heat mat and you're having humidity problems, and maybe use an overhead heater. The deep heat projector dries things out quite well. And also if you get a well ventilated tank with good mesh, that can also help. Obviously it's a bit more difficult in vivariums, but yeah, overall very nice tank. Then we have two Leopard Gecko setups from Jonathan, and these look really cool. So lots of places to hide and explore, and this one in particular I think is my favourite. I don't know what these things are called, I can't think off the top of my head right now, but I always think they look really cool. I think the only thing I would change, if anything, in these, or especially in this one, is to add a pop of colour, so either using faux or real plants, and I think it would really make it come to life. But overall I think both setups look really cool. And finally, we have a setup from Dennis, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Now, it started off like this, a very simple kind of setup, quite sterile, but he has now transformed it into a bioactive tank. So this is a great start. I'm not 100% sure what size tank this is, but compared to the first setup, this is quite the transformation. He will soon be adding a halogen lamp, which is something I've actually been debating whether or not to do myself, because it does work well when combined with the deep heat projector. Now, he did just want to know how he could add more hiding opportunities, so I think you've done well with the cork and the slate, but maybe you could extend that slate area, especially under the heater. The thicker the slate is, generally the more heat it retains, which is really useful for your gecko. So maybe take this slate hide, but make it a bit thicker and a bit bigger, and that could really do the trick. But yeah, thank you to everyone who sent in their setups. It is great to see such vibrant, interesting setups for both crested and leopard geckos. If you'd like to see more videos like this, or more videos where I help fix your setups, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye.